Thank you, Mr. Como, for giving us an opportunity to present our COVID forecast for both nationwide and also for the state of New York. My name is Chris, and this is my friend Shangri Cho. We're data scientists at SMU. Let's get it started. So our presentation today is going to include some information about the data and also the different model that we have built to do the forecasting. And we're going to pick the best model based on the one with the lowest ASE. And then we're going to use that model to do the both short-term and long-term forecasting. Our data source come from the different sources as it is listed here. And our variable of interest is a positive case, also known as confirmed growth. And we're also going to use some other features to better understand and to better forecast the data. So let's get it started with New York.
Start with the data integrity. It's a good question for stationarity check. Mean does not depend on time. Let's take a look at it. Our data set, first parts mean, median parts mean, third parts mean. Seems like mean does depend on time, which is non-stationarity characteristic, also got confirmed by spectral density, showing that couple of cyclic behavior. Forecasting model, we're using long-term, short-term forecasting. ARIMA model, we're using MLP model we're gonna do, and also we will ensemble. Evaluation method is using ASC method and also using rolling window. Start with the ARIMA model. We start with the ARIMA model 711 by AIC method. AIC turned out 1.6 million. This is a 7 days forecast. Make it a little bit bigger. This is a 7 days forecast. Next, MLP model, hyperparameter setting, ASC. This is 7 days forecast. Make it a little bit bigger. So make a direct comparison between MLP and ARIMA. You see that blue MLP, red ARIMA model. MLP seems more useful. However, in 90 days forecast, it turned out MLP is not better than ARIMA model. All models wrong, but some are useful. In this case, MLP model for 90 days is not useful. So let's take a look at the 90 days forecast with ensemble model. This is the 90 days forecast. And this one actually gave me a good question. Is an ensemble model useful? So in that case, I fit the data using 60 days forecast. And this time, actually, ensemble model seems much, much better. So from now on, we consider ensemble model into our model selection. 7 days forecast, it seems like all is useful. In 90 days forecast, it seems like ensemble model is most useful. Roller window ASC wise, MLP had a best property. So adding two more extra variables to have a multivariate analysis. Number one, average temperature. Number two, we added long weekends. Multivariate analysis, we do VAR, MLP, ensemble model. VAR model first. We fit the model like this, 7 days forecast. Definitely it's okay, but rooms to improve. Also ASCs are a little bit higher. MLP model we fit this way, and also 7 days forecast. If you take a look at it in detail, it seems very great and also confirmed by ASC. So rolling ASC wise, also MLP had a best component. And as you can see, MLP always outperforms for 7 days forecasting for both of them, univariate and multivariate. This is a direct comparison. So you can tell multivariate model seems more useful. So 90 days forecast seems like this. I recall that ensemble model is more useful. In 7 days forecast and scene data, I want to say ensemble and MLP model is more useful. In 90 days forecast, I want to say ensemble model is more useful. Thank you.
Thank you, Sangre. Now let's move our attention towards United States. So we looked at the realizations, and we can see that it's actually it's a very non-stationary, has a non-constant mean, and also very strong wandering behavior. And then we looked at the ACF, and you can see that slowly damping ACF with some cyclic behavior, which is the indications of ARIMA model. And it also has some peak, like a high autocorrelation at about every 7 days. And then to confirm that, we looked at the spectral density, and you can see that there is a high peak at 0.01, mostly due to the 1 minus b factor, and also a small peak at 0.14. So we believe the data might have a seasonality present. So what we did is we differentiated the data twice, and then we model. So this is our forecast for 90 days using our ARIMA models, and this is our forecast for 7 days using the same model. So 7 days looks good, but 90 days not so great. It has a very high confidence interval, and also the data is just trending upward and then continuing that seasonality. So again, based on ASE as well, it's not a great to do a long-term 90 days forecasting. And this is our model. Next, we build neural network MLP models, and then this is our forecast for 7 days and 90 days. So we mostly use all the default parameters, except that we use mean for our 50 reputation. So all the gray line that you see here is actually different networks, and what it does is it calculates the mean of all that, and then the blue line and the red line that you see is the mean of all that. And then again, it's much better for short term compared to the long term. So finally, we wanted to see the best model to do our final forecasting. So we put MLP models, ARIMA models, and an ensemble model. And then we compared that based on ASE. And then it looks like ARIMA has a pretty low ASE compared to all three models. And we also did the same thing for short term as well. And then we went ahead and further did our rolling window ASE for 20 windows. And then we see that ARIMA is still the best model. And therefore, we went ahead and forecasted using that model for both 7 days and also 90 days. And 7 days, again, looks good, but 90 days have a very wide confidence interval. And again, it's just continuing that seasonality and a trend. Next one is we're going to use some other features such as independent variable to better understand the data and do the forecasting. So first, we built MLR model using two features. And the good thing about MLR model is that it actually gives us the significant features. And here we saw that air traveler and also the temperature is a significant feature. So we calculated ASE for both 7 days and also for 90 days. And it's pretty high. It's not that great. So the next we went ahead and built a VR models using these features. And it's a little bit better. But again, this VR model it thinks that all the variable must be stationary, which in this it's not. So it has a little bit better ASE, but not great. So the next, then we build neural network MLP models using these features, and then we did we calculated ASE for both 90 days and also for 7 days, and then we got much better ASE than these two models. So based on ASE, the evidence suggests that MLP might be the better model. So we went ahead and forecasted for both 7 days and also the 90 days. We forecasted the positive case using those MLP model. So 7 days looks good, but 90 days definitely not so great. And here you can see the multi-layer perceptron MLP. We use 7 inputs and 5 hidden layer, and the output is just our final positive case that we forecasted using MLP model. So thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, and we'll answer any questions that you may have. Thank you again.